For these updates, we're getting a new piece of quality of life slash puzzle content called the Abyss 1 Magnus that introduces puzzles in different realms or worlds that will grant you a new item in the form of shade glow pebbles. These pebbles can be used to access a new system mechanic in the form of fast traveling, only to major cities in the BDO world. Now, in terms of exactly how these pebbles were only going to be showcased in the Magnus, or if it's possible to gain these pebbles outside of the Magnus. The developers kind of hinted at the idea that it could possibly be coming from not just the Magnus, but other areas as well. At least the way they worded it came out to be in that fashion. The other news is that while also completing some of the content on the Magnus, you'll also receive a universal storage system in which all storage keepers around the BDO world are now interconnected, which allows you to simply deposit or withdraw items without having to go to the storage keeper of said area. Even your mates can transfer said items in your inventory to different storages with this new function. To have access to this, you'll need to complete the new Magnus story questline to obtain this huge quality of life change. So basically with this is that with the universal storage system, we no longer have to go to one town and the next to then sort out all of the items that we have in each storage keeper. So we can just simply go to one storage keeper and just basically change every item that we want to end up depositing or withdrawing. Same thing with the maids. If you want to basically deposit all of your, let's say, trash loot to one place specifically that you want to leave it at, you can do that. I feel that they should have done this from the get-go, but it was whatever. Then, in addition to the Magnus story questline that they've also added into this, when completed, you'll be rewarded with a free pen boss gear of your choosing. You can still Kafras and convert said boss gear into the Fallen God variant depending on which one you've chosen. Now, this tells me that either one, you have the option to decide, okay, I want to either get Libers, or I want to get Uragons, or you want to get Griffins, or you want to get Dempstree, or even Red Ogres, or is it Red Ogres? I don't remember the name. People don't even pick it. Or maybe there's a chance that you can also choose between boss weapons, because that's technically considered a boss gear set, right? So if that's by chance what they're saying from this, then we also have access to also getting ourselves boss weapons. In addition with this, they will also going to be adding J-Hammers for rewards, 2,000 crons, and 150 Valk stacks. And, you know, just to help you in your enhancing endeavors. All of this will be present on release in October 12th or around October. In actuality, you do have access to the J-Hammers, the 150 stack, and the 2,000 crons, and also weapon coupons and so forth, immediately as the live stream ended. So it's not exactly going to be giving out on October 12th. There's something else that's going to be giving out during that time. So yeah, that was a little bit of a misunderstanding coming from me. My bad. But not only that, they're also going to also add class balance updates in the near future, which they already do kind of, but they're going to address the concerns of the weaker classes and stronger classes in the game. And with the Magnus content, there will be a new revamp skill for all classes. In addition, with these revamp skills that you gain, they would also make it easier to input the commands for each revamp skills that you are using. So what this basically means is that not only are they going to introduce a new skill for every class in the game, a new revamp skill, that's going to be tied to the Magnus content in the game, but they're going to make it easier for you to input the commands to basically, you know, use these revamp skills. Like, for example, let's say if you're going to press S plus F to release the skill, something like that. I'm not saying it's going to be exactly what I'm mentioning, but it's something similar to that. Not only that, they're also going to do a kind of a revamp for the classes where they're going to work on the older skills or the neglected skills in order to make them more oriented in the current state of BDO, while drastically lowering the amount of skill points needed to max out all of your skills. Now what this means is that they're going to lower the amount of skill points that you need to unlock the skills and basically enhancing them. And the way they're going to do this is that they're going to decrease the amount of skill points to max out on all your skills by 1,000 points. Meaning that you only need 1,000 skill points to just level up all of your skills. Crazy, right? So they're going to be doing that now. So you don't have to grind an excessive amount of skill points for each new class or older class that you want to get into and play with. Now you just basically just get 1,000 skill points and you can basically max out all of your skills. Great. Now you may be wondering, what about the excessive amount of skill points that you currently have now? If you have over 2,000 skill points, what about those skill points? Are they going to remove them? Well, from what they're stating, they kind of said it in a way that came out as if they themselves don't know if this is what they actually want to use the rest of the skill points that you may have. But for what they stated, they're going to make it so there's going to be a passive skill in the skill tree where you can increase your weight limit. So now with this, if you have a huge abundance of skill points, you can just delve into all those skill points into weight. Great, that's something nice for those that don't really have the money to basically purchase weights from the cash shop. You can just, grind on your character and get the weights that way. Now, I don't know exactly if how much weight limit you get in return for each point that you allocate towards it, but again, it seems to me that it's coming out more as a working product, so there's going to be a Global Labs update to this, so we'll wait and see exactly how that's going to work out. Another big change is that, or should I say not change, but more like an addition to the game, is that they're going to add a function similar to Marnie's Realm called Parallelvia. I think that's how it's pronounced. Now, with this function, let's say that if you're in a random area that's usually can be turned into an Elvia server, and there'll be Elvia monsters in that area that you're currently on. Now, if you don't want to just simply, change your server into the Elvia server that you want to get into, you just simply use this function, the parallel Elvia's content functionality, to then basically go immediately to that area's Elvia version. But I don't know if you have to be on the spot or if you can be in any other area in the town and just simply just teleport to that area. So you don't have to then, go and change servers. That is not exactly delve into too much, really, to really give us an exact idea as to how this function actually works. But it's, again, similar to Marnie's Realm, just to say in that functionality. Now, another big piece of content that they added to this game is a new dungeon, the third dungeon they're going to be adding to the game, called Yolonikia? Yulonikia, I think it's pronounced. If I'm butchering the name, I'm sorry, okay? The theme for the dungeon itself, in terms of the final boss, is called Origin of Life, in which that when you take down the boss, or let's say you killed the boss, so to speak, the boss doesn't go down. It comes back up and goes through different phases. In the video that I'm showcasing, you're seeing the final boss going through the second phase. So who knows exactly what's going to happen in any other phase and how many phases this boss actually has and what mechanics are going to be involved in these phases. So that is something that we're going to be able to see later down the line. Hopefully maybe they'll do a Global Labs to it, or maybe you just have to wait and see it comes out on release. So yeah, that's about all the content that they're going to release sometime soon around October. I'm quite happy for the idea of removing all of the skill points needed for enhancing and activating or unlocking the skills that you are trying to obtain with your character, and the fact that they're going to add in a universal storage for the game, and the new Magnus content seems pretty cool for what it is. And a new BAM skill. No one's gonna say no about that, right? So, yeah, that's all neat. So yeah, that's about the video, I guess.